Going to China was one of the most memorable experiences of my life. Starting in Taiwan, we all flew into Taipei. We were able to visit many places, including temples where we could get talismans. We could also make crafts with some of the aunties. We toured a historical manor that had a peaceful garden. We passed by the Peace Memorial Bell and the Presidential Office Building. Our next stop was the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall, which is massive. We then hiked Elephant Mountain to get a good view of Taipei 101. Once we arrived in Shanghai, we spent a lot of our time exploring museums because of the rainy weather. Each museum had thousands of pieces, and it was really cool to see all the pottery, calligraphy, jade pieces, artwork, etc. We also visited the UVU shopping mall, where the architecture is from the Ming Dynasty, so it's over 450 years old. Inside of the shopping mall, there's also a garden called Yuyuan, and we didn't go as a group, so on a separate day, me and some classmates decided to go on our own, and it was stunning. Lastly, of course, we went to the water bund, which was very pretty. Once we arrived in Chuxiang, we started a variety of classes, such as calligraphy, pronunciation, poetry, as well as Tai Chi and martial arts, and we got to do several other classes that were incredibly interesting, like learning how to do tea making, as well as doing lacquer fan decoration and traditional dyeing for fabrics. We also had the opportunity to make a traditional Chinese treat called qingduan. With the help of the tutors, we not only got to learn in class, but outside of the class. They showed us some of their favorite restaurants, their favorite areas to go and hang out, and we got to see a lot of very beautiful places. There are many parks and lakes and reservoirs and ponds that you can visit, and there's also shopping malls. As with the other cities we visited, we went to museums in Chuxiang as well. These museums had embroidery and dinosaur bones, as well as taxidermy. Chuxiang is home to many Buddhist temples and pagodas, which were stunning to see, because not only are they cared for extensively, but they are incredibly grand and intricate. Some of my favorite places that we visited included the 10-month solar calendar park, which is important to the Yi people. It was really cool to learn about some of the different zodiac signs. I really enjoyed visiting a high school where we all got to ask some students about their hobbies and how they're feeling about the Gaokao, and it was really cool. Lastly, I really enjoyed visiting parks as a group because we could listen to some local musicians and we got to learn some traditional Yi dances. But I would say one of the most memorable experiences was getting acupuncture and fire cupping done in Chuxiong. After leaving Chuxiong, we visited the Shilin National Geological Park, which was really cool because it's filled with all of these awesome geological formations that you don't really see anywhere else. Once we arrived in Kunming, we flew to Xi'an. We first visited the Shaanxi History Museum, which is grand and very beautiful. We also visited the inner city, where the most preserved city wall resides. Inside, we were able to watch a shadow puppet show, as well as some Chinese opera. And then we did some paper cutting crafts, and we also got to do a little bit of woodworking. Later the next day, we returned to the city wall to bike around it, which was awesome. The weather was perfect. And the total distance that we biked was around 8.5 miles, and I would do it all over again. One night we went to the Wild Goose Pagoda, and in front of it is a water show that plays at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. In Xi'an, they also have a very prestigious university called Xidian University. We were able to visit and walk around with some students, and we even got to make dumplings with them. We went to a presentation about the history and the evolution of Chinese characters, which was very interesting. We also got a tour their AI center, which showed how AI can be used for academic development. We also toured their museum, which showed many different technologies that they have aided with developing. Afterwards, we got to visit the Hanyangling Museum, which was incredibly interesting because it's essentially like a mini terracotta warriors. Soon after, we were able to visit the world-renowned terracotta warriors, and there are just so many. I was not expecting to see the amount that I did. It's really crazy to think that they are still uncovering more to this day. We visited the Huaqing Springs where the infamous Xi'an incident occurred with Chiang Kai-shek. From Xi'an, we rode the bullet train to Beijing. We started at the Temple of Heaven, where then we went to Tiananmen Square. Through Tiananmen Square, we entered the Forbidden City. They were doing lots of renovations, but it was really beautiful to see nonetheless. Then we went to my personal favorite location, which was the Summer Palace. It was so pretty, and my favorite thing that I got to do there was rent out a boat with some of my classmates because we got to go around on our boat and see everything from the lake. Next up was the Great Wall of China, and I was a little intimidated by how steep it looked, but it was actually really fun, and it was very beautiful. Our second to last stop was the entrance of the Ming tombs, which was really interesting to learn about. Last but not least, we visited the Beijing Olympic Park, and the architecture was really impressive. Participating in an 8-week study abroad program in China and Taiwan was an invaluable experience that offered far more than I anticipated. Compared with other China study abroad programs, this stands out as one of the best in terms of cost, quality, educational value, and overall impact. Despite its remarkably low price, the program delivered exceptional academic, cultural, and personal benefits. Throughout the trip, we visited a wide range of historical, cultural, and modern sites that allowed us to experience firsthand the diversity and complexity of Chinese society. Immersing ourselves with local communities significantly improved our Chinese language proficiency and deepened our understanding of Chinese traditions, history, and contemporary life. Through daily interactions, we met people from many regions and backgrounds, forming meaningful friendships and building lasting connections in both China and Taiwan. These relationships not only enriched our cultural learning, but also created new academic, professional, and personal opportunities for the future. The experience broadened our worldview and challenged many assumptions we may have held before the trip. It helped us appreciate what we have at home in the United States while also recognizing the strengths, richness, and unique qualities of Chinese society. Ultimately, this study abroad experience expanded our global perspective, enhanced our personal growth, and left a lasting impact that will continue to influence our lives, careers, and understanding of the world.